Good morning. I'd like to thank everybody who joins us. My name is Ola Atamanova, and it's my pleasure to see everybody here in Ukraine Media Center Economic Forum. It's been 11 years of the war, and today is day 838 of the full-scale invasion of a homeland by Russian aggressor. And in the beginning, let me tell you in brief about the schedule of events prepared by our team. At 12:30, we will be talking about the situation with the power shutdowns. We will be talking about the situation with our power grid, and we will be talking about the price growth, the tariff growth. Joining us online will be Alexander Harshenko, director at the Center Industry Research Center. At 1:30, we will be talking about current situations in the south of our country with Dmytro head of the Center for Strategic Communications of the Defense Forces of the South. And at 14:30, we will be talking with Andriy Vitrenko, First Deputy Minister of Education and Science of Ukraine, about the conclusion of the academic year and admission campaign of year 2024. And right now we will be talking about the harvest, and the experts of Agrarian products. Joining us online is Dmytro Solomchuk, People's Deputy of Ukraine, member of Verkhovna Rada's Agrarian and Land Policy Committee. Good morning, Mr. Dmytro. Good morning. So, Mr. Dmytro, we would like to start a conversation with this year's harvest, and if we can, let's talk about dynamics as well. Well, currently all of the arable lands are sown with the crops by Ukrainian agrarians. The forecasted harvest is about 75 million tons of oil and grain crops. Of course, everything will depend on the weather conditions, because last year the forecast was pretty much the same, but the actual harvest was way better, way more. And judging by the tendencies, the decrease of the area of the grain crops, it will be for wheat, corn, in favor of rape and soy. Thank you. So let's talk about the experts. I think this is the topic which is of concern to everybody, the experts of the grain and other crops through Ukrainian ports. We remember that the first quarter worked pretty well for us. So what will be the situation in the quarter two of this year? Well, in the second quarter of this year, there were no concerns regarding the exports. The majority of the products were exported through the seaports to European Union or to the ports of Gdansk and Baltic countries. However, we have the transitional residues at low level, and last year's harvest is almost completely exported, and the export volumes will be grown at expense of new harvest, this year's harvest. Mr. Dmytro, for what I said, as long as we've shipped more, it means that the situation in our roadways does not influence the volumes of exports. So what is the situation with the land transportation? Well, exports through the road networks, well, first of all, we've arranged for better volumes, bigger volumes of exports through the seaports and railways. On top of that, transporting through the roadways is more costly. The number of drivers is less due to mobilization. But basically, the borders are not being blocked by Polish farmers or transporters, and I don't think anything like that would happen shortly, because probably they will be more in need of our agricultural products there or other countries or European Union, because the forecasted harvest on their end, both for wheat and rape, is less. Mr. Dmytro, I cannot help but asking about those new rules to be imposed on 6 types of agricultural products. to European Union. So to what extent would it influence our agrarian manufacturers? Well, due to the concerns of the farmers, they've changed the procedures for those 5 crops, and they said that they may probably impose new quotas and will be able to take decisions quite quickly in case it would disrupt their internal markets. For the time being, no markets are being disrupted, and Ukrainian farmers do not influence the situation in no way, because the global prices are being influenced by global trends, global markets, commodity markets, and a lot depends on the harvest in such countries as Brazil, United States, Argentina. First of all, this is what influences the prices as they either grow or fall. So I hope that there will be no strict quotas imposed, and we will continue to be able to export our products at the same level as within previous years. Well, thank you very much. I understand now is the time for harvesting fruits and vegetables. What is the situation here? We know that the regions from where such products were traditionally supplied, like in Kherson and Zaporizhia regions, what is the situation over there? Could Kherson region increase the output of this type of products? And if not, how do we compensate for that? Well, the farmers started resuming the operation on the watermelon fields and other fruits. Talking about horticulture, for example, that's a little bit more complicated because such land plots, the gardens, they require more stable irrigation within the year. That this is why the areas are decreasing a little bit, but farmers in other regions shifted to growing these type of products, and comparing to previous years, the price has even fallen for fruit and vegetables. The problem is more on the side of refrigeration to preserve the vegetables for long term, and it's a real complicated question for the agrarian manufacturers because it's a pretty expensive construction, and for what I know, only 12 to 15 new vegetable storages were built within the last year, which is a very small number actually. Dear colleagues, please let me know if you have any questions on the floor. And I'm having a question about processing of agricultural products. Meanwhile, recently, Taras Vysotsky, Deputy Minister for Agrarian Culture, stated that to increase the efficiency of the agricultural sector, we have to switch to processing, and our goal is to process at least 50% of agricultural products. To what extent is this idea realistic, and when is it achievable in your opinion? Well, of course, processing is good. We would like to have everything processed, but we have to first look for the sales markets. Whom can we sell those processed products to? And then we can proceed to implementation of the policy, installation of the equipment, so that the businessmen, the farmers, can get relevant grants for installation of their equipment, because I know there is no line waiting for our flour, for example, in the internal market, and we have to understand what are the needs for internal markets. First of all, I understand we all want meat, dairy products. First of all, they are in demand in the countries of Middle East, Asia. Yes, this is something that we can supply to them, but otherwise, for example, oil is a good product that is in demand all around the world, both in Asia, Middle East, and Europe. plus some more agricultural products. Thank you. We have some more questions on the floor, please.
Rita Kvist, I'm from the Danish radio. I apologize for asking a more general question. In not so long time, Ukraine will start its negotiations about accessing the European Union. Could you say a few words about, when it comes to the Ukrainian agriculture, what will be the biggest challenges for you? What do you need to start to change over the years to come?
Good morning. First of all, we will have to find common ground between European agrarian manufacturers and ours, so that everybody understands what Ukrainian farmers do, so that they are being perceived normally in European Union. It's a lot of work, actually. Like, who should be involved in growing of agricultural products, who should be involved in organic products, who should be involved in, who should do the processing. And talking about the farmers, in my opinion, we should do more growing of organic products, which are, for example, very popular in European Union, as well as cattle farming. For example, in Denmark, there's a lot of buyers who want Ukrainian organic agricultural products, and even with the beginning of the war, in Danish supermarkets, the Danish chains, they were quite loyal to Ukrainian agricultural products, which we appreciate a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dmytro. Let me remind you, joining us was Dmytro Solomchuk, People's Deputy of Ukraine, member of Verkhovna Rada's Agrarian and Land Policy Committee. Thank you for being with us. See you shortly at 12:30, and we will be talking about our power grid. So stay tuned. See you shortly.